This is the real reason why Jay-Z lost the Times Square casino deal. It had nothing to do with the things that you see in the media, but there's things that were happening underground that was the real reason for why he lost that casino deal. Now, Jay-Z is a rapper, an iconic rapper turned businessman, and not just any businessman, but he's one of 23 black billionaires in the world. You would expect that to come with some power behind it, especially tied with his celebrity status, which it does. He has more power than the average person. But as the saying goes, there's levels to these things, and there's definitely levels to particular deals getting passed. And he doesn't have the power that some people are painting him out to have. Let me give some context. People think that these big casino corporations just popped up in the 80s and 90s, but that's not true. Most of these are sitting on old money. I'm talking about real old money. Caesars today, that comes from Harrah's company, which started in the 1930s. MGM, that's tied to the billionaire Kirk Kerkorian, who was already a Hollywood and airline mogul before he ever touched Vegas. Las Vegas Sands, Sheldon Adelson sold $1 billion tech expo before he even bought a casino. Even Hard Rock's gaming side was scooped up way before and had money flowing because they already own casinos. So somebody like Jay-Z coming into the picture with his new money is at a great disadvantage. And this is what I'm trying to display. He is by no means an oligarchy. He's somebody that's coming to new money in his lifetime, going up against certain people that have had money for generations, for centuries. This is not a battle that is easily won or is even possible to win. And I want to kind of go into the nuances of the things that go on behind the scenes, because there's a lot of politics that go on behind this, a lot of lobbying that goes on behind this. In other words, a lot of bribery and political sway. There was definitely people that did not want Jay-Z to get that deal to pass, and they used their power and influence to make sure that it didn't pass. Some of the people that did not want him to get that deal would be Hard Rock, Las Vegas Sands, the Wynn Resort Company, MGM, so on and so forth. These big casino corporations that have been in that business for decades. Yes, for generations. And that comes with a lot of power behind it. Power that Jay-Z is not equipped to deal with, or power that any black billionaire is not equipped to deal with. That power comes with decades of lobbying with politicians, giving donations, building relationships that you can't just build in a couple years. We're talking about decades of relationships. We're talking about centuries of relationships and connections. We're also talking about capital that he can't come up against. For example, the Wynn Resort capital power is $8 billion. Hard Rock's capital power is $12 billion. And Las Vegas Sands capital power is $33 billion. While Jay-Z only has capital power, or a net worth, of $2.5 billion. And that's not liquid. So when you're going up with giants like that have that much capital, and not only that have been building these relationships within politics and these different cities for decades, that's something you can't compete with. Just being a new billionaire, someone that is just coming into new money. This is why the position that black people are in, some of them just starting to come into money. You got a few of them are just starting to come into money. You could not compete with these industries that have been stable for decades, that had had their foundation built since slavery. Johnson & Johnson, so on and so forth. I can be here for hours naming the corporations that have started from slavery times. They have had centuries of a head start. Some of these companies, decades of a head start. And that's a lot. That's a lot. And that's what you don't seem to understand, is that there was an actual media campaign against Jay-Z in this particular business deal. There was a media campaign that was leveraged against him. If you notice, at the beginning of this venture, it was painted as something that would be good, that would be beneficial to the people, you know, exciting. But as we got closer to the time of closing the deal, it was painted as the worst thing that could ever possibly happen in New York City. They basically treated it as if it was the drug cartel bringing their drug ventures to the city. That's how they painted it. And I'm not saying that he did it to benefit the people. I understand it's a money grab, like everything that these people do. Everything that these top corporations and billionaires do is all a money grab. None of it is for the people. So he's not doing anything different than any of them do, that MGM does, that Las Vegas Sands does, that any of those big corporations do. How is fast food or McDonald's beneficial to the people? It's not. It's a business. It's there to make money. So they were making this a moral issue, which was ridiculous. And when you look at the actual news reports and how they were covering it, I can clearly see that these were hit pieces against Jay-Z that was funded by these competitors. And this is what you're up against. You're not just up against, oh, I have enough money to do it. No, it's beyond the money. This is politics. This is lobbying. This is capital power. This is relationships. It's deeper than that. This is why when Kanye West was on Sway, he got so angry, because Sway did not understand what he was trying to say. Kanye was speaking in code, but he was making a lot of sense. Pretty much a decade plus later, I now understand what Kanye West was trying to say. The same thing applies for the clothing industry. So Jay-Z getting that deal would have, yes, pushed him a lot further financially, so on and so forth. But there's walls, there's glass ceilings that he has to go beyond, that people with more power and political sway are able to manipulate more than he is. So this is what it is. And so when we say there's a glass ceiling, it runs deep. It runs very deep. And it doesn't have to be the top level of people in the society that come up against him to stop him from doing that, because there's so much layers in place, so many different obstacles you got to pass before you reach those top bosses anyway. And by the time you reach them, there's no way you could come up against those guys. And I'm not even going to name those corporation names, but there's no way you can come up against them. They have complete control over all industries. So when you say he's an oligarchy, no, he's not. He's just a man that came into new money. And I'll tell you something about oligarchies. The oligarchies do not want to be seen. They want to be hidden. They have the advantage of being unknown, so there can't be hit pieces against them that's as effective as someone in the celebrity limelight like Jay-Z. And that's a great advantage. So you have to understand the difference between someone coming into new money and an oligarchy. And with that, I'm out.